Hello, Internet! Shouth is here, and it's time for another episode of ShoutStone. I am bringing you another Shoutcast from the Hearthstone beta, once again brought to me by a user by the name of Stormshriek. Stormshriek. That sounds better, doesn't it? Yeah. Let's just get into the game, shall we? It is...
Anduin versus Jaina.
Alright. Priest versus Mage. Stormshriek playing the part of Anduin, the Priest. Dioxyn playing the part of Jaina, the Mage. So, one of the last games that I cast from Stormshriek unfortunately had some weird audio issues where everything kind of went out of sync.
Greetings.
It was actually a problem of the source video, and I don't really know what happened, but I have gone through this video. I've tested to see, just to make sure that the audio is in sync, and it is. So hopefully this will be fine, but let's hop right into the action. So, early play. Now this is a pre-patch game, as you can probably tell already. So Mirror Image only produces 2/0/1 minions instead of 2/0/2 minions, which is a buff that I didn't think was necessary, but whatever. 2/0/1 minions with taunt was harassing enough, and enough of a problem to deal with, but that's what we get. So, Northshire Cleric out for Stormshriek, and Arcane Intellect going to be played by the Mage player to get a couple more options in hand as we move forward. So, I'm going to try and steal a card from the opponent's hand, and his Polymorph, that's actually that's a very nice card to steal, as it were. I mean, it's going to be great for future control, just to kind of hold things down, and to shut down any kind of troublesome minions that may be put into play for the Mage player's side. Kobold Geomancer, this is likely going to be a bit of a obvious spell power deck. Usually the design of most Mage decks back during this point in time. Shield Bearer coming into play to add gosh. That's what happens when you try to cast games late at night. It's going to act as kind of a damage absorption to keep things off of the Priest player, for now at least. So we're staring down at some pretty basic setup right now. No astonishing play, nothing, you know, and I can't really fault the players for that. It really depends on the card options. There's really not been anything available that would lend itself to being, you know, outstanding early combo stuff. But it's fine, you know. No slight against anybody. Just an observation, that's all. Alright, so a couple points down, a quick Arcane Explosion, and gonna burn that Fireball to finish off the Northshire Cleric before it can really have any effect. So field is clear, at least for the Priest player. Now it's time to go through some options here. So Polymorph, probably not likely. Could play that Twilight Drake, it would be a good time. It's a pretty loaded hand right now. Actually gonna play the Voodoo Doctor instead. Unfortunately, the Battle Cry is of no real good use here. And gonna put Taunt on it. Interesting. Fade is actually a card that no longer exists in the current version of Hearthstone. I will let you know, however, starting Monday, we are going to be doing a season of Arena Time, this time with Total Biscuit. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I am master of magics.
So yeah, I don't know, it seems like a really waste of two cards there, but quickly taken out with the hero power. More damage being dealt to the opposing hero. Now, as far as I know, this is a regular ranked game, not an arena game. I know there was some confusion the first time I'd cast one of these games. So Temple Enforcer comes out. And right now, not much that it's going to be able to do, except for get sheep. So, there you have it. Quickly polymorphed and dealt with. Hero power gets rid of the sheep before it can be affected. And that's actually a pretty good strategy. If you're a Mage player and you sheep an opponent's minion, take it out. You know, don't leave 1/1 minions out on the field that could potentially be problems later in the game. Alright, Twilight Drake coming into play. It's now a 6/6 minion. A bit of a self-heal there, and gonna play that Voodoo Doctor. A little too much concern for individual health this early, I would say. There are probably some better options that could be put into play. And Flame Strike. Oh, I hate Flame Strike. which is severely buffed up as a matter of fact due to both of those spell power minions out on the field. Alright, so precarious position right now. Gonna have to play Mind Control just to get a minion on the other side of the field.
Job's done.
A very... I mean, I probably would not have used that then. It's still very early in the game. You could eat a few more points of damage and just, you know, wait till something interesting happens on the other side of the field. Even right now, I wouldn't have used it, you know. Ironbeak Owl, that could have been a good draw to put into play, at least to shut down one of those spell power minions. So, I will admit the play here is not ideal. At least he's shutting down the spell power, so that'll help that a bit. And he's going to buff up the health, so that's a good move right there. Because he doesn't have any other minions available right now, so he's at least buffing things up, trying to get a decent minion out there. He's shutting down his opponent's minions. He's killed the spell damage effects. And now he's got that buffed health Ironbeak Owl. So it's a 2/4 minion, which is, you know, not perfect, but hey, it's a lot better than other situations, so. Quick hero power burn. And a couple more points of damage. And another mirror image. So, that's why I don't think that spell should have been buffed. But, oh well, it is. We have to deal with it. So it is going to force him to focus on those mirror images before he can do anything else. And it's a really interesting position to be in right now. I mean, there's a very dangerous minion on the other side of that field right now. That Archmage is going to be trouble. The sheep is still alive and active, and unfortunately, he didn't really have anything to shut it down with at the time. Despite my, my recommendations, like I said, mage players should shut down their things. And a arcane explosion. Hero power is going to take care of that Northshire cleric again. And there goes the Ironbeak Owl. Quick minion trade, so at least one minion's down as part of the minion trade. But it's not looking pretty. He's going to get that Chillwind Yeti on the field. He's probably going to buff it up there. Yeah, but he could potentially make it an 8/8 minion with that Divine Spirit. Or, no, that's Divine Spirit, not Inner Fire. I'm drawing a blank here. Yeah, he could have doubled up the health too, which would have been interesting. Probably not necessary, but Polymorph, yep, so maybe a good choice that he didn't do that. And the sheep is gone. So this is not looking good. Secret put into play. I don't even know if we'll actually ever see it, because right now this mage player is doing a fantastic job. Just played Fade there just to get the extra card draw, so not actually a bad move. Burn the Silence on the Archmage to kind of kill the additional spell damage. Could be a smart move depending on what other options lay in this mage player's hand. So, little tricky there. Water Elemental, however, coming into play. Those are going to be troublesome. But again, Ironbeak Owl dealt with. Spell power may not be the biggest concern for Stormshriek right now. Alright, gotta put that Light Spawn into action, and could play that Divine Spirit to double up its HP. Both polymorphs have been burned, so at least he doesn't have to worry about that. However, there are tons of other issues at hand. Looks like he's gonna play that Divine Spirit, now making an 8/8 minion, so at least a minion of force on the other side of the field. But who knows what lurks in Dioxyn's hand, the mage player. I'm very eager to see what exactly the play is going to be here. Flame Strike is going to shut it down halfway. And then, no, nothing there. Just a Fire Blast to nuke it even further, and probably going to take it out with just one of the minions. So that was shut down very well. And now Stormshriek is down to 8 damage, mage player at full health. And just not getting the cards that he needs to survive this. This is certainly, as it stands right now, there's not enough damage on the other side of the table. Well, now there is, but that minion's going to be asleep. Quick attack. Ice Lance will do it. Quick 4 damage. And that is it. Yep, so there is the final blow, and Stormshriek will fall to Dioxyn in this Priest versus Mage matchup. A few erroneous moves there, I think, on Stormshriek's part. But the Mage player was in a pretty good position for most of that game anyway. So it's a little hard to judge if there were many moves that could have recovered from it without kind of going back and looking it over once again. But I'm sure you folks in the comment section will do that. You always like to kind of analyze the games after the fact, which I like. I love watching you guys kind of look over these games and point out the points where the game really turns the tide. That might be something I'd like to do for this channel. Would you guys be interested in seeing that? Kind of like taking a game and breaking it down, kind of like a Day 9 daily, but for Hearthstone. Not every day, mind you, but, you know, I don't know, maybe a couple times a week or something, I don't know. Once a week, twice a week, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. That's going to do it for this episode of ShoutStone. Don't forget that you can find me on Facebook and on Twitter. The links to follow me are in the description below. Please follow me. Find me on those social networks. I want to be followed by everybody. Not in like a real world sense, but, you know, don't stalk me. Anyway, you can also subscribe to the channel for daily Hearthstone videos. And you can like this video and comment to respond to either my question or just to say first or whatever the heck you guys like to say, because it doesn't matter to me. But thanks a lot for watching again, and I will see you all next time.